Welcome back. I'm here at Miss Groovy's Studio Kitchen, and today we are going to make miniature oven-baked corn dogs. But before I get started, we've got to thank Step by Step for the funding and Miss Groovy to let us use her kitchen. Corn dogs are a summer staple, and I bet a lot of you guys really like them. So today we're going to make some at home, just in our oven. They're not quite as fatty and they're a lot less cleanup. So here we go, and I've got the list right here for what you're going to need. First, we're going to grease our sheet tray, our landing pad for our hot dogs, our corn dogs. Since we're going to make mini corn dogs, we're going to cut our hot dogs into 3 pieces each. I've got a small knife. Again, be very careful. Cut them into thirds, or roughly thirds. I have to be exact. This way there's more to share and they don't take as long to cook. I remember eating corn dogs at the county fair. It was at our high school. I loved it. We went every year, and I bet you have good stories like that too. Now that we've got the hot dogs cut up, you know, corn dogs, we gotta have it on a skewer so we can eat them. So we want to stick them in about all the way halfway up. We don't want them to fall off. You want to be able to shake it and it not come off. Be careful, you don't want to poke yourself. Toothpicks can kind of be sharp, and we don't want you to get a splinter or anything. That would kind of be a bummer while you're cooking. Almost there. It's the final countdown. Final countdown. There we go. Uh-oh. Looks like one rolled off the tray. We better get them back on there. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Now we get to make the batter to roll them in. Okay, we're going to start by mixing all our dry ingredients in our large bowl. First, I'm going to get 3/4 cup of flour. This one has a 3/4 cup spot on it, so I'm just going to use this one. Got 3/4 cup, dump it in. 2/3 cup of cornmeal. Now guys, I have a 1/3 cup, and so we're going to need to do it twice. So here's our first scoop. You want it leveled off. There's 1 and 2. The other dry ingredients are our salt, baking powder, and baking soda. We're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and now we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is a 1/4 teaspoon, so we're going to do 2 of them. You don't want to measure it over your dry ingredients, because if you spill, then you'll have to do the whole thing over again. So let's do that's 1/4, so that's number 1. And there's number 2. 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. Now that we've got all our ingredients in, we're gonna whisk. We're gonna whisk it up really good. Whisk, 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 whisk. Whisk that flour, whisk that cornmeal. There we go. Now that's what we want to make sure there's no lumps or anything. We want it to all look the same. We don't want any streaks or ribbons or anything. There we go. Looks good. Now to do our wet ingredients, we can add them all together. Set this aside. And now in our second bowl, we're going to do our wet ingredients. Now we're going to add our buttermilk. You got to shake it up. Woo! This just helps to make sure if any fat or anything is on top. We want to mix it all up. There we go. Now we're going to need 3 tablespoons. So here's 1 tablespoon, so we're going to do it 3 times. 1, 2. I'm pouring it nice and slow so we don't have a waterfall of buttermilk and we have to go all over the place and we have to redo it. So I've done 2 already, so now I'm going to do our 3rd one. There we go. So now we're going to crack our egg into it. I like cracking it carefully on the side of our bowl and then breaking it apart. Yoink. Plop. There's no shell in there, so we're good. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of honey. Honey is really slow. It just kind of takes its time coming out, so you just gotta be patient with it. But honey is so good. There's number 1. And here's number 2. I need time for me to buy some more honey. There's not much left in here. Don't want to skimp on the honey. It's delicious. We got to thank the bees for that one. Now, just like our dry ingredients, we're going to take our whisk and we're going to get it nice and all together. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Whisk that liquid. See, the milk was white when we started, but now that the egg's all broken up, it's all the same color yellow. It's exactly what we want. Okay. Looks good. So now we're going to put our wet into our dry. So we've got our dry here, still all nice and mixed up. We're going to now dump our wet stuff into our dry bowl. And I'm using my spatula to make sure it gets all out. We don't want any of the honey or anything to stick to the bottom. Now that the liquid is in with the dry, and guys, this is a common method to when you make muffins or other sweet treats. It's going to be kind of stiff because remember, we got to put it on our corn dogs. We want it to stick on our hot dogs. We don't want it to go blah and just kind of come off. Wouldn't be a corn dog then. I'm kind of feeling it with my hand. We don't really want to handle it too much, but you can see how it's nice and firm. It's exactly what we want. So now we're going to stick it in the fridge for a little bit, get it nice and firm, so then we can wrap the hot dogs. Okay guys, here we go. I've had it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. You can see it's not sticking to my hands anymore. Because our hands are hot and we want to keep the dough as cold as possible, I'm going to use a rolling pin to roll it out really thin, about 1/8 of an inch, but give or take's good enough. Let's get a little bit of flour. We want to roll it out thin enough so that we make sure we have enough for all of our hot dogs. It's getting a little sticky. Again, we want to do it as quick as possible so it doesn't get too hot. This way, when it's kind of square, we can kind of cut strips for our hot dogs. So it looks pretty good right now. So what we're going to do is take our hot dogs, we're going to stick it on there and see how the width of our hot dog. We're going to cut strips just big enough so that when we roll it up, it'll seal it nice and tight. Again, we just want it big enough to wrap all around our hot dog. So see, there's enough on this side and this side. I'm going to take it, roll it up. Okay. Mash it together. Oh, well, I thought it was big enough, but oh well, we're going to add a little bit more. go and kind of squeeze it around. I'm sure when you get corn dogs from the carnival, you know, you don't see any hot dogs, so we want to make them look just like corn dogs that you get at the carnival. Roll it, and there we go. Looks good already. We're gonna stick this on our grease sheet tray that we had from earlier. And now we're gonna just keep doing that till all our hot dogs are completely wrapped. So let's go for it. Now we've got them all wrapped up. What we're gonna do is, because we're not deep frying them, we're still gonna wanna put a little bit of oil on them so it helps crisp them up. So I've got my oil here. I'm gonna pour it in. You can use a cup or whatever you wanna do. And then I have what they call a pastry brush, but if you don't have one of these, you can kind of use your fingers and kind of get messy, but it's fun. So what you're gonna do is just start and take them, and we want a nice coating on them, and then we're gonna lay them out. They're getting close. You want to keep them separated so they have room to bake and they don't stick together. They're looking good. I'm getting excited. And they take a lot less time to bake than they do to have to chill in the fridge. I don't know what you guys like on your corn dogs. I know a lot of people like ketchup. I go for mustard myself, but hey, you could do both or none. Just make them taste good and enjoy them however you like. There are plenty here, so if you want to share with your other sisters or brothers or your parents, or if you guys are having a picnic or barbecue, this is perfect to bring out to munch on while you're waiting for that barbecue or steak or whatever, the hamburgers to get done. They're all spread out and ready to go for the oven. I'm getting so excited. Come on, let's go ahead and stick them in. Be careful, the oven's hot, but I can't wait. We're gonna put them in, set the timer for about 7 minutes. That way we can check and rotate if we need to. Since every oven is different, we better stick it in for a shorter amount of time so we don't overcook them. There's the timer. I bet you they're ready. Let's turn it off. Let's open them up. Ooh, looky there. Nice and golden brown, and they smell delicious. Let's steam them up. Now be careful, it's really hot. Before we taste them, we gotta let them cool down a little bit. We want to be able to taste them and not just burn our mouth. Make sure everyone in the kitchen, or everyone here, knows that this is hot. We don't want anyone to grab it and hurt themselves. Go 1, 2, 3. I like mustard on mine, so I'm gonna do a nice squirt. Ah, there we go, perfect. Oh my God, now's the time, ready to enjoy? Now that they're cooled down, I'm gonna just bite into it. So that was an easy, delicious dish that's perfect for summer. I'm gonna continue to finish mine while they're hot. And when you get yours, go ahead and do the same. Enjoy all by yourself or share them with friends and family.